Hello everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is Chris from Cinema Trailer News, and this will be my breakdown for episode 4 of Obi Wan Kenobi. So this episode was a lot of fun to me, and I think the series is getting better every week. Now, however, I do have my issues with the show, and I think the show is a bit too simplistic, in all honesty. And I think that is in the fact that we know how it's going to end, basically because of the connection to A New Hope. And I think that limits a lot of the story that you can tell in this timeline. Also, it limits the character that you can have, and this show doesn't have too many characters. And so far I'm enjoying a lot the show, so I'm curious to see the other 2 episodes. But let's get into the breakdown. Now we open up with old Ben on a bed, healing up after his battle with Vader. He's taken to a better tent, and we're in for some flashbacks. Cut to Fortress Inquisitors, and Leia is giving it big about being the daughter of a senator and the princess of Alderaan. Reva very much represents the life of a child taken in by the Sith, and her backstory will not doubt flesh this out more. Though the main plot of the entry revolves around them saving Leia so she doesn't die, it is likely that she may have had an even worse fate. The Inquisitors will likely discover that she's force sensitive and torment her until she becomes one of them. And once her old dad discovers this, he will of course carry out the mission that he wanted to with Luke at his side, which was to overturn the Emperor. This entire scene is of course a metaphor for the Nazis and people that harbored Jews during the Second World War. This is further hammered home in the next scenes when we cut to Ice Cube Sam O'Shea Jackson Jr. He wants Obi-Wan taken off war instantly, and we'll quickly discover this is the foundation of the rebel. Leia is an asset that knows everything. As we know from World 1, her father, Bail, will be extremely important. Rocken, or Changes Jr., now lives in his life in fear because his wife was force sensitive. Jedi aren't allowed to love, though her getting married shows she wasn't even part of the order, and still they hunted her down and end up killing her. Rocken agrees to help them to get to Noya. In a cool technology callback, we get a hologram that looks like it's riffing on the one in Return of the Jedi. This carries the same style as was used when the rebels planned out the Endor and Death Star missions, and it's here that we learn the fortress is on Nod. This too features as a level at the end of Fallen Order, and the planet is a water moon that juxtaposes the lava landscape that exists on Mustafar. Obi-Wan ends up breaking into it, much in the same way that Kestis did in the game. There are theories that he'll pop out in the show, and the second game is rumored to feature around this time, but I'm not sure if we have time to get him and tie him into that. Tala still has Imperial clearance, and with Obi-Wan they fly out to know. But Obi-Wan doesn't feel ready. He still possesses some of his ability, but not enough to match Vader, and I think he's going to need a big pep talk before he gets into it. Now, Qui-Gon Jinn is someone who has been hinting all throughout the entire show. Liam Neeson long enough to come back to the Star Wars universe, and I'm sure he won't be too long until we see him. Now, at this point, we cut back to Reva, who brings up Barnab. This planet first appeared in Clone Wars episode 6, and it was a home to castaways. This makes the perfect place for the part, which was Reva's after. Though she tells that she can go home, and I think this is a lie and not really something that the Empire will do and give it to her, because of what they did to Alderaan last time they asked for her for. Now, Tala lands at the fortress, and we see a ship here that looks very similar to the ones featured at the start of Force Awakens. They do the all clearance scenes, the one that do it in lots of movies like Mission Impossible, and that but she bluffs her way through by pulling rank. She ends up getting clearance for Obi-Wan, who swings into the base where we breathe on. This scene is very similar to the one on Phantom Menace. Reva reaches into Leia's mind, which is a technique that Kylo Ren did use in The Force Awakens to Rey, and it doesn't work on Leia. Thus, Reva has to open up about her past in order to try and find some common ground with her. She also brings the fact that they both had droids, and I think they will no doubt soon discover that she was the child at the Jedi Temple in the opening scene, and I'm surprised they have not already confirmed that. And I'm guessing that it isn't confirmed yet, so it reflects Leia. Reva hates Obi-Wan, and it's likely because she discovers that he returned to Coruscant, but that he didn't go looking for younglings. She probably feels like she abandoned, and seeing him go out of his way to rescue a young child annoyed her even more because she was left behind. However, I think if she's been protecting both her and Luke, that she realized he's not the evil man she's built up in her head to be, and that if had known she was there, that he would have tried to save her. Now, at this is an important moment, as we discover at the end of the episode that this is doing that she placed the tracking device inside the droid. We don't actually see this moment pressed, but she does have the flaps open as she toys with him. Tala is captured and leaves her comm device behind, which is we see resting on the table. We also see the ominous seeker droids, which are of course based upon probes. They even emit the same sound, and the red eye is really intimidating. Obi-Wan ends up sneaking around past stormtroopers, which is what he did on the Death Star. They shot away just like they did at the tractor beam, and he ends up destructing them with a sound very much like he did in a New Hope. And Tala busts up some heads to get back to her station. Leia holds up on the interrogation, and they end up taking her to a torture machine similar to the one that popped in Empire Strikes Back. This also showed up in Rebels, and it was used to get info out of people for the Empires. In the secure system, Obi-Wan discovered what the place really is, and we see Jedi trapped inside amber-like substance. These look like they are the ones that the Inquisitor has captured, but it begs the question why they didn't bring Nari in. He was used as an example, but I think it is strange that they didn't select him, with this being a secure area, and actually have a theory that it may have been developed as a way to try and clone Jedi. We know from The Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker that this was a goal carried out by empires, and it will make sense to have a Jedi store here. And I think the one of the ones he comes across is Terra Sinub, an investigator that used the Force to solve crimes. I'm sure the others are famous ones too, so if you know them, then let me know in the comments below. Tyler buys them sometimes and requests an audience with Reva. In the room, we see several lightsabers on displays, and these are the ones that the Inquisitor collected from the Jedi they took down. Tyler tells Reva that the power is on Florum, a desert planet that is to pop in the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan rescued Leia, and I love this scene in the dark, watching how black the room was while the lightsabers pop was just a cool scene. There I learned the Seekers, which also allows Tala a chance to get out too. As we learned from last week, she's a quick draw. Obi-Wan cuts to the stormtroopers in the hallways, giving me some battle droids vibe, and we also see Reva with a push trooper. These are specialized soldiers that are drafted into the Inquisitors' ranks to help them hunting down the Jedi. They get stuck in a corridor, and the water starts to flow into the cracks throughout the cracks. This is exactly the same place as where Car fought Vader, and Obi-Wan even ends up using the Force to stop the water from coming, much like how Vader did in the game. Obi-Wan does a trench coat. It's not too long before they get found out, but in a typical Star Wars fashion, someone comes in to save the day. Speeders bust in and bite them time. Even the poor little monster is not safe. This speeder seems like an early models, and we can catch the cockpit doors openly. Definitely, we heard that one of the forces is Carol Wayne, and thought this could be a nod to Wade Voss from Star Wars Demolition. The character dies before the game takes place. Now Vader is angry as hell, and he's completely off at the leash, dangling Reva in the air before almost killing her. However, she gets herself as something of execution after revealing that they placed a tracker on the ship, something that was also used to track the rebels to Yavin 4 in A New Hope. It's a bittersweet rescue as they lost a team member in order to get Leia out. War has a heavy toll, and I really enjoy the way they shot these scenes, and ends with Leia touching Obi-Wan's hand, thanking him for the rescue. So that's my breakdown for episode 4 of Obi Wan Kenobi. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Consider subscribe to the channel, share this video in social media and with your friends, and like always, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.